Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the transdermal drug delivery system. So in that sessions we have to see that type of the learning objectives are there, the basic introduction of transdermal drug delivery system, advantage, disadvantage, the anatomy physiology of skin, the formulations design of transdermal drug delivery systems, the various approaches that used for the development of transdermal drug delivery systems, and the evolution of transdermal drug delivery systems. So we have to see what is transdermal drug delivery system, the definitions. So transdermal drug delivery systems are the drug delivery systems that can deliver the drug through the skin. We have to use the media for the drug release part, that is through the skin to the systemic circulations or into the systemic circulation at a predetermined rate and maintain the effective concentration over the prolonged or extended period of time. So that is transdermal drug systems. Formulations that is applied to the body surface area is designed to deliver the active drug, our API drug, across the skin into the systemic circulation. So design the deliver of drug through the various layer of the skin surface, and then it enter into the systemic circulation. So it is also the polymeric drug delivery systems which contain the drug or the API drugs into either we have to enter into the reservoir type of system with the rate controlling membranes, or we can disperse the drug into the polymer matrix. We have to homogeneously disperse in the polymer matrix. So there is the type of polymeric drug delivery systems. So as compare with the oral drug delivery systems. So today we have to use more than 75% of the drugs that is used taken by the oral administrations, and we have to find out some drawback. We have to not found the effective or desired concentration or effective therapeutic effect with the oral route oral administration. Some drawbacks are there. So transdermal drug delivery systems that offers an alternate attractive options as compared to the oral route oral administration. So that's why one of the choice for the researcher and innovators to go for that type of novel drug delivery system. Here some data are given that collect from the Google Net. So in that, the globally in 2018, the novel drug delivery system in the NDDS market, the revenue share percentage by the route of administration. So most widely used the oral drug delivery system, so more than 35% like that. And then second option, that is parenteral injectable drug delivery systems, we can go for it. After that, the pulmonary transdermals are there. So day to day, the use of transdermal drug delivery systems are increasing. More number of research are going on that transdermal drug delivery systems. The globally drug delivery market by the administration that we have to use. Some data regarding worldwide market revenue for the transdermal products around 3 billion US dollar. So most of their use share between the USA, the European country and Japan that most widely used. Some history that we have to show. 1970, the Alja research that began first development of the modern transdermal that go for the research on 1970, 1918, the starting point of that the innovation in the transdermal drug system. 1918, first transdermal product scopolamine for motion sickness. 2002, many the product that is available in the US market. And transdermal drug systems we have to achieve for few hours to up to 7 days that the drug release we can achieve by preparing transdermal drug system. So the introduce that terminology and their product innovations in the transdermal drug system is starting from 20 years ago, around 1980s that we have to see. The technology generated tremendous excitement an interest among the pharma researchers in 1980s and 1990s. The first transdermal patch was approved in 1981 for the motion sickness, nausea, vomiting, the scopolamine. Then more than 35 transdermal patch products and ongoing 13 molecules are there in around 2003. So more than 35 transdermal products have been approved in US. Here the comparisons that are given between the route IV, oral and the transdermal. So what are the advantages portions are there. So to avoid the hepatic pass effects that we have to achieve in IV and the transdermal oral route, we have to not bypass the first pass effect metabolism process. Constant drug levels, that also we have to achieve IV and transdermal. We are not achieving the constant drug level in the systemic circulation blood plasma. In oral we have to get the fluctuations. Self administrations, so in that time IV we are not administered by the self administrations IV route. Oral and transdermal, that we have to apply it by self. Termination of therapy, so ideally transdermal patch that we have to apply, so we have to terminate the therapy if we get some increase the dose, increase the drug concentration in the blood, otherwise we have to see some side effect, adverse effect, unwanted effect, so we have to remove or terminate the therapy. In IV that is not possible. Non-invasive part, that also the oral and transdermal are there as compared to IV. And the advantages of the transdermal drug delivery system. So first, that we have to, in the comparison we have to see with the IV oral, that hepatic first pass metabolisms, that avoid bypass that hepatic first pass metabolisms, that improve the bioavailability portions, maintain the constant blood level for the prolonged period of time. We have to see in the definition part that maintain the effective concentration of the drug in the systemic circulation for the prolonged period of time, improve bioavailability, decrease the dose to be administered. We have to maintain the concentration for a period of time. We get the optimum effect response from that concentration. So that time decrease the dose, decrease the side or unwanted effect, decrease the GI side effect, GI irritations part with the drugs. Easy to discontinue, terminate in case of toxic effect. Self administration is possible. So there are some advantages are there that increase the patient compliance with the oral or parenteral route. Some disadvantages and the limitations for the transdermal drug system. So skin permeability, there is a restriction limited. Some potent drugs that we have to use only for the restricted to the potent drugs, cannot be used the large molecules, significant lag times, the effect starting the taking the much time as compared to IV and oral route. Skin irritations type of drugs are there, allergic response they are given, so they are not used for the transdermal drug system. Problems are there, and economically that cost is high as compared to oral drug delivery system. So the basic, the anatomy and physiology, the basic components of the skin that we have to know before we have to go for developing or preparing any transdermal drug delivery system. So the skin, so it is the largest organs in our body, human body, that providing the major surface area, larger the surface, 10% of the body mass of the average person that covered by the skin. It covers the average surface area of 1.7 meters square. So it's not a large and easily accessible organs to administer the drug or therapeutic agents for both the system, for the local response or systematic actions. We have to use the skin. So the parts that we have to know, the epidermis, dermis and subcutaneous, 3 layers are there. The restricted part, that is epidermis, in that also the stratum corneum. So it is the most important layer, a strict barrier for the permeability of drug. So it is the most important layer which usually that provide the rate limiting steps, slow the release rate in the penetration process. So we have to first cross that stratum corneum. That is our major challenge or problem for the skin permeability parts. So the route of drug penetration through the skin, so the micro and macro routes are there. In the micro route, you have to go for intercellular, transcellular like that. In the macro parts, the hair follicles, the subcutaneous gland that we have to use for the drug permeations through the skin. So in that, sweat ducts are there, hair follicles are there, sebaceous glands are there, and otherwise directly cross the stratum corneum. So in that, the percutaneous absorption, so it involves the diffusion, passive diffusion process for the drug, that mechanism that cross the cell membrane reach through the process. So through the skin they have to go involve the passive diffusion that follow the fixed first law that we have to apply for the kinetic parts. In the transcorneal, the transcellular and intercellular penetrations are there, that across the cell, that is transcellular, intercellular means between the cell, and transpanagial penetrations via hair follicles, sweat glands like that. So here the diagram for that: intracellular across the cell, intercellular within the gap between the cell and through the transappendials, that is go with the sweat gland, hair follicles. So that is a schematic skin absorption process. The dosage form drug release systems are there that we have to apply for the skin. So first they have to cross the epidermis part. In that, the first layer, that is stratum corneum, then that permeate, then it reach to the dermis and the hypodermis part. In the dermis part to the capillary, the absorption process are there. So first the major challenge is that is we have to cross the stratum corneum, highly restricted part as compared to the other layer. So the distance that is traveled by the drug to the inter or intracellular, they have to go the pathway, that is branching, bending, are the tortuosity that we have to know, that pathway is around 10 to 20 times higher than that the transcellular. So across the cell, transcellular that go for the faster as compared to intercellular, they have to go for branching and bending between the cell, so that increase the travel distance pathway 10 to 20 times higher than the transcellular. Stratum corneum, that consists of 10 to 15 layer of corneocytes that varies in thickness, so that we have to know about the anatomy physiology of that 3 layers: epidermis, dermis and subcutaneous. Next, the factors that affecting the drug penetrations. So before developing the transdermal systems, we have to know about the factors, various factors that affecting the drug permeability or the penetration part. So the first, the physicochemical nature of the drug, their size, solubility and participation coefficient. That is most important parameter that we have to require: the particle size, lower molecular weight, lower molecular size. Solubility we have to require in both in hydrophilic nature, lipophilic, both aqueous solubility as well as lipophilicity, and the partition coefficient that we require high. The time scale observation, site and condition of that skin, the formulations, vehicle component that temporarily change the property profile of the stratum corneum. So that consider the solubility, molecular weight, melting point, that also consider polarity, crystallinity like that. Kinetic part, the half-life, that is most important, that we have to use, volume of distribution, therapeutic plasma concentration like that. Biological factors that we have to see: the skin toxicity, irritations are not that, allergic reactions, and the skin permeability that we have to know, that we have to require, that coefficient skin permeability flux. Next, the most important, that is the criteria, ideal characteristic, profile, drug profile that require candidate for the transdermal system. So it must be non-ionic, low molecular weight, that is important, less than the 500 Daltons, so it easily penetrate, so that we require lower molecular weight drug. Have adequate solubility in aqueous, so greater than 1 mg per ml, so that sufficient that solubility in aqueous medium. High lipophilicity is ideal for the permeability part, So more than 3, 4 like that, it is ideal. Log P values, log melting point. So dose also ideal, that is ideally less than 10 mg per day. It is ideal for the use of transdermal. Drug should not be not be irritant or any allergic reaction, immunoreaction to the skin. And along with this property, drug should be potent, having a short half-life. So these are the criteria, profiles that we have to find out in the drug. So it is ideal candidate for the transdermal drug delivery system. The next, the compositions, the general formulation for the transdermal patch. So these are the parts that we have to require in that portion. So the drug, the API that we have to require, about that the polymer matrix, the polymers that we have to use other than the penetration enhancer or permeation enhancers, so which temporarily demicize the impermeability of drug, that alter the skin permeability by hydration denaturations, that alter the lipid profile of the drugs and that increase some permeability portions. That's why we have to add the permeation enhancer or penetration enhancer. Other than important, that is adhesive properties that we would require to stick the skin part. So adhesive, the pressure sensitive adhesive that we have to use. Other than for the protection parts, the backing membrane and the release liner and some other additives that we have to use for the general composition of transdermal patch. So we have to see the release liner that we have to use that protect the patch during the storage, protect from the environmental part, and that we have to use when we have to remove it and we have to apply for the skin. Drug that is used direct contact with the release, and adhesive materials that serves adhere to the component of the patch together along with adhering the patch to the skin. The polymer matrix, that membrane that we have to use, rate limiting part that control the release of drug from the reservoir, multi-layer patch. And the last, the backing, the protect the patch from the outer environment. So that is the uppermost part that it protect from the rigid, protect from the outer parameter factors like environmental factors. Then the mechanism, the percutaneous absorption enhancers that you use for the, so that reduction of resistance of the stratum corneum by altering their physicochemical profiles, absorption by the stratum corneum, alteration of that heart resistance of that stratum corneum that we have to go. So that effect a change in the structure of that lipid, lipoproteins in the cellular channel through the solvent actions, the denaturations, carrier mechanism transport that we have to go for ionizable drug. So that is the alteration in that stratum corneum physicochemical profile. We have to change, reduction their resistance, reduce the permeability part by the alteration of hydration, absorptions, their denaturations. Then after the absorption by the stratum corneum, the penetration of drug through the liable epidermis, then uptake of that drug by the capillary network into that dermal layer, and then go for the systemic circulation part. So penetration enhancer like sulfoxide based dimethyl sulfoxide that you have to use, some fatty acid alcohol, azones that you have to use, surfactants, alcohol glycols, ionic, non-ionic, cationic surfactant that is used for the widely for the penetration enhancer. The next important part, the approach to development of the transdermal drug delivery systems. So generally the matrix systems, in that adhesive and the diffusion base, the reservoir type, the membrane base system that we have to use. Here the diagrams given for the adhesive type, then the monolithic, the matrix type, and the reservoir type systems are there. So in adhesive type, so drug containing the adhesive portions are there, so adhesive layers are there, drug reservoirs are there, rate controlling adhesive layers are there, and the upper, the drug impermeable metabolic materials are there. In monolithic, the backing layers are there, rate controlling matrix uniformly distribute the drug in that polymer matrix are there, adhesive portions are there. In the reservoir type, the backing parts are there, drug containing reservoir, and then the one layer are there, that is polymeric rate controlling membranes are there, and the adhesive portions are there. So that is general compositions for that. All the approaches are there. We have to see one by one. The adhesion type dispersion system. So drug reservoir is formed, that is dispersing the drug in the adhesive polymer layer and then spreading in the medicated polymer adhesive by the any methods are there, solvent casting, melting the adhesives onto an impervious backing layers. Drug reservoir layer is then covered by the non-medicated, the rate controlling polymer membrane, that is constant thickness to produce the adhesive diffusion based control drug release systems. Here for that the example equations are there for the rate of drug release with this type of system. The manufacturing of that adhesive type of that. So that is, so backing layers are there, spraying of the drug with adhesive solution, the drug dispersed in the adhesive polymeric solution. Rollers are there, so in between the go for the compact compress or the layer that we have to fold. After that, the removal of that solvents, dryings that we have to evaporator that we have to use. Then the lastly permeable, impermeable, laminate, the layers that we have to coat it, and then cutting the machine and then go for the packaging. So like that the process are manufacturing process for that. Second one, that is matrix diffusion control system. So here the drug is dispersed homogeneously in the polymer matrix. So previous one, drug dispersed in the adhesive polymer materials systems are there. Here the polymer matrix in the drug uniformly homogeneously dispersed in that hydrophilic or lipophilic polymer matrix. So drug that containing polymer is fixed on the adhesive base plate in compartment fabricated from a drug impermeable backing layer and surrounded by the adhesive film for the sticky part. The equation for that. The next, the membrane permeation control system. So here the drug reservoir is embedded between an impermeable backing layer and the rate controlling membrane. So here the drug is covering between that part, the backing layer and the rate controlling membrane. Previously that we have to use homogeneously disperse the drug in the polymer matrix and drug dispersed in the adhesive layer. But here the drug is in a center core part and that cover with the rate controlling polymeric membrane in one side. In the upper part we have to use the drug impermeable metallic plastic laminate. So drug release only through the rate controlling membrane. Previous one, drug is diffused from the polymer matrix, and here the drug is released or diffused from the rate controlling membrane, which can be microporous or non-porous semi-permeable membrane that we have to use. The drug can be in the form of solution that you have to put in that core part, suspension gel, or disperse in solid polymer matrix like that. Equation for the rate of drug release. Then micro reservoir type, the combination of reservoir and the matrix diffusion dispersion system. So the combination of that we have to use. So drug reservoir is formed by first suspending the drug in an aqueous solution of the water soluble polymers, and then they disperse the solution homogeneously in the lipophilic polymer to form the thousands of unleachable microscopic spheres of the drug reservoir and surrounded by the adhesive film rim like that. Equation for that. So the method for the preparation of transdermal patch, so that in that we have to use the mercury substrate in the petri dish like that, circular telephone molds, aluminum bake, aluminum adhesive film that we have to use, that membrane, the synthetic artificial membrane that we have to use. So like that we have to use for the preparation of transdermal film. So here the diagram process for the preparation of transdermal patch. So initially step is the blending, the mixing of the drug with polymer matrix or the adhesive materials or anything. So that we have to use the drugs preparation, drug suspension or solutions by mixing the drug with the polymers. Then we have to go for that spreading out in that spreader, and then we have to coat. Then we have to go for the drying evaporation part of that solvent. So then go for the lamination, laminate the backing layer, then cutting that parts. Then we have to go for the attach the release liner, the packaging, punching, compression part, then go for the packaging parts. Like that the process sequence are there for the preparation of transdermal patch are there. Here we have to go for the laboratory small scale, so we end up because we have to prepare the polymeric solutions. Okay, we have to use the magnetic stirrer steering for the uniform mixing, homogeneous mixing of drug with polymers. So in that we have to use organic solvents. In that we have to add our drug and the polymeric mixers. In that also we have to add the drugs. Continuously we go for the steering. Then we have to pour into the mold, specific mold, or we have to go for the petri dish. Then we have to go for the drying for evaporation of that solvents in a controlled manner slowly for the up to 24 hours. So we have to put the inverted funnel, we have to put the cotton, so we have to control the evaporation rate. After the evaporation, we have to pull it out of that patch from the mold or the petri dish. We have to pack into the aluminum foil, put in the desiccators, go for the packaging. Like that, the simple procedures for the preparation of film and the laboratory parts. And the last one, the important part, that is evaluation of the transdermal patch. So initially pre-formulation part, so we have to go for interaction studies. So we have to go for FTIR, DAC, thermal analysis, UV, chromatographic methods are there. Then we have to find out the thickness of the patch. So we have to use the micrometer, screw gauge, vernier calipers like digital. Nowadays we have to use to find out the thickness in the mm. The weight uniformity. So specific area of the patch we have to cut out from the different parts, angles, and then we have to go for the weigh by digital balance. Then the folding endurance. So repeatedly we have to fold the patch in the same place until it go for the break. So strip of the specific area that we have to cut evenly and repeatedly fold it at the same place till it go for the broke or break down. So that is called the folding endurance. So number of times the film could be folded at the same place without breaking, that gives the value of the folding endurance. Then the moisture content portions are there, percentage moisture content, moisture uptake. So that is the important part. So we have to prepare the film are to be weighed individually and kept into the desiccators that containing the calcium chloride at a room temperature for 20 hours. Then, so initially we have to find out the weight. After that 24 hours we have to reweight and determine the percentage of moisture content from that below the mentioned formula. Initial weight minus final weight divided by final weight into 100. So moisture uptake, so final weight minus initial weight divided by initial weight into 100. So we have to get that moisture studies. Water vapor permeability evaluations, we have to also go for that part. Drug content, the content uniformity, that we have to find out how much amount of drug that patch present in that our patch. So we have to go for that patch, we have to dissolve suitable specific solvents. Then we have to go for filter, and then we have to go for analyze for the find out the concentration, quantity, amount of drug that present in that patch. So you have to go for UV or HPLC, any analytical method, suitable method that we have to use. Then we have to go for the adhesive studies. It is also important in that peel adhesion, tech property, shear strength, the tensile strength, like that the properties that you have to find out in the transdermal patch. So we have to see the peel adhesions. So the force that we have to apply require to remove an adhesive containing form of a test that substrate, that is referred as a pale adhesions. We have to pull it out from the surface that we have to adhere. Tech properties, so it is the ability of polymer to adhere to the substrate with the little contact pressures. By the thumb we have to apply the manually pressures and they stick to the surface part. Then in that tech properties further they go for thumb tech test. So it is a qualitative test that is applied for the tech properties to determine the adhesive part. We have to apply the thumb is simply pressed manually on the adhesive and then relative tech properties is detected. The rolling ball tech test. So in that, so it involves the measurement of the distance, that is stainless steel ball that travel along and upward facing the adhesive. The less sticky the adhesive, the further the ball will travel. So that is the rolling ball take test. Peel take or quick test, quick stick test. So peel force that required to break the bond between an adhesive and the substrate is measured by pulling the tape away from the substrate at the 90 degree at the speed of 12 inches per minute. And then we have to find out the peel take test. Another probe take test. So in that the tip of the clean probe, that probe is brought into contact with the adhesive. And when a bond is formed between the probe and the adhesive, the force that required to pull the probe, at that weight we have to put. So the force required to pull the probe away from the adhesive at fixed rate is recorded as a track. So that is probe take test. Shear adhesion. So the adhesive coated tape is applied onto a stainless steel plate. The specified weight is hung from the tape at the other side to affect it pulling in a direction parallel to the plate. The shear adhesion strength is determined by measuring the time it takes to pull the tape of the plate. So that is shear adhesion part. Then the in vitro, the drug release studies, the dissolution studies, or in vitro skin permeation studies. So in vitro diffusion studies, like that we have to use the terminology. Generally for all drug release system we have to use in vitro release or in vitro drug dissolution. In transdermal part, so in vitro the skin permeation or in vitro diffusion studies. So here we have examples are given that we have to go for the diffusion study by the using the diffusion cell. Here the diagram they are given figure, that is Franz diffusion cell. So the donor compartment and the receptor compartment or chambers are the donor and receptor that we have to put the or samples as the artificial or simple membrane that we have to use, animal skin that we have to put, and the human skin. So that separate out the donor chamber and the receptor chamber. Receptor chamber that we have to put our dissolution fluid media. Sampling ports are there, and from that part we have to take it out the sample and we have to find out the concentrations with the periodically intervals, and then we have to take out the sample and we have to analyze with the analytical method. In vitro that we have to already see the which are the evaluation tests we have to perform. Then we have to go for in vivo. So that animal and human model that we have to use. Any animals, the mouse, rat, dog, monkey, rabbit, guinea pig, like that we have to use for the in vivo. That we have to adhere our patch. So we have to remove the hair. That we have to put it the patch into that surface in the animal. Then we have to find out the skin irritation studies, skin permeability diffusion part, where periodically we have to take the blood sample and we have to analyze in vivo. Skin irritation study that we have to perform, we have to see any erythema or edema, that we have to give the score from 0, 1, 2, 3, their low, moderate or high intensity base, the irritation part. Then we have to go finally for the stability studies, so that perform with the ICH guideline. According to the ICH guidelines, we have to perform the stability studies. So conduct for the 40 degrees Celsius accelerated stability studies, we have to go for that 75 relative humidity for 6 months, and we have to take it out the sample from the 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, like that up to 6 months, and we have to analyze for the stability part all the evaluation parameters. The next, the recent innovation, the advanced novel in that transdermal drug release system. So some approaches that we have to use with the physical approach, the iontophoresis, the electrophoresis, then sonophoresis, the microneedles, like that. So in iontophoresis, so it involves the delivery of the charged molecule, charged drug, chemical compound that across the skin membrane, using and apply the electrical field, electrical current around 0.5 milliampere per centimeter square. The tiny electrical current that we have to apply or promote to flow of the drug through the skin, which improve the permeability by applying that current. So most the electrode that we have to use with the drug parts, so that apply to the skin. So most popular electrodes generally widely use the silver chloride, the redox couple type of the electrodes that is used for the iontophoresis part. So the anode and cathode two electrodes are there, current we have to apply it, so that go for the skin permeation part. Then electroporations. So it create that also we have to apply the electric field power supplies. Okay, they create the transitions, aqueous pores in the lipid by application of high voltage that we have to apply the electrical pulse, approximately 100 to 1000 volt per centimeter square that we have to apply for the shorter period of in milliseconds. We have to apply the high voltage, and that go for the permeation part. Another approach, that is sonophoresis. We have to use the ultrasound energy or frequency. So high frequency of ultrasound is also being studied as a means to enhance the transdermal drug wave system. So here the frequency generally range from 20 kilohertz to 3 megahertz, like that in between range that we have to use for the diagnostic purpose, massage, dentist parts, like that we have to use. So low frequency that disturb the lipid packing parts, permeable parts in the stratum corneum by the cavitations. So the sonophoresis and iontophoresis nowadays that go for the research and innovation portion in that part, and that implement for the marketed formulations. Another approach, the micro needles, the microchips, pins that we have to use needles. So that are currently being explored as a mechanism to deliver the vaccines, large macromolecules like that materials. So that syringe that delivers jet microneedles type drug that deliver drug directly to the dermis parts. So that approach that we have to use for the recent advance in the transdermal drug delivery system. Here some examples, that is approved marketed product available in the transdermal parts, and that globally the cell products are there. So in that the Fentanyl, the pain relief that is available in the transdermal formulation, nitroglycerin, so that also widely used for angina pectoris, and then the smoking based, nicotine based are there, motion sickness based widely used scopolamines, some hormone replacement. So like that the class of drug that is used for incorporated into the transdermal drug system. Here we gave the brand name, the manufacturer for the type of transdermal drug, like Novartis, Alza, Zydus, like that company that produce the transdermal drug delivery device. So thank you. That we have to see about the transdermal drug system, their introductions, advantages, disadvantages are there, ideal characteristic of the drug for suitable for transdermal drug delivery system, the factors that affecting general formulations, various approaches for the transdermal drug delivery system, method of preparation, and the evaluation of the transdermal drug delivery system. Thank you.